Hi there, knife nerds. This is Archer with the Archer's Knives. Today we've got a great video for you. I'm going to do 5 knives that I probably would not start my collection again with. And I'm also going to do 5 knives that I probably would throw into my collection if I had to do it all again. This is going to be a long video. We're going to break down a few knives. We don't have time to go into detail of every knife, but I'm going to give you reasons why I like them, why I would probably not do them again as a beginner starting a collection, and what knives I've come to realize would be perfect for starting a collection. We'll be right back. Now, the first knife I want to cover is one that I wouldn't start my collection again with. I bought this knife back in 2014. It is a Benchmade ADAMAS 275. It is the full-size ADAMAS. It is a beast. It is out of D2 steel, the Byrd design. I love this knife now. I use this knife all the time. I use it very heavily. I use it for things that I don't want to subject my other knives to. However, I would not buy it again solely based on how big and chunky it is, not knowing that I did not need a hard-use, big ol' overbuilt knife. Everybody thinks they need this big overbuilt knife, but in the end, even a tactical knife doesn't need to be overbuilt. It just has to perform the job that you're going to give it well, as long as it's an appropriate job. This knife will take on almost anything. It is huge, chunky, thick blade stock, thick G10 handles with even thicker steel liners. This weighs in at somewhere around 7.5 ounces, so we're looking at a half a pound of chunk in your pocket. Do you really want to be fighting that the whole time? I don't think so. What I would suggest in its place would be the Spyderco Manix XL. Manix 2 XL. This knife is big, it is chunky, but as you can see, side by side, a lot different. This is going to account for how it carries in your pocket. While the Benchmade does have a deeper carry pocket clip, you can tell it is not a deep carry clip. You're still going to see this above your pocket. That is a gripe I have about it, but it is a better clip than what's on the Manix 2 XL. Manix 2 XL shows about that much over the rim of your pocket. The clip needs to be changed to a deep carry clip. I'm going to do that at some point. I just don't use this knife enough anymore that I want to throw money at it when there's so many other things I want to buy, see, do, try out. But I would choose this over the ADAMAS any day, simply because of the weight reduction and how thin it is in my pocket. Yes, it is a big 4-inch blade. This sucker is huge, but I would trust it for almost the exact same tasks that I would trust the ADAMAS with. Look how different these are. It's absolutely amazing. They're a different world. You can almost fit the Manix 2 XL into the body of the ADAMAS. Both of these knives come in at a pricey go. This is the Manix 2 XL right now, I believe, is somewhere around the $200 mark. And when I purchased this, I purchased it on clearance, but right now, if you wanted an ADAMAS full size, they are in crew wear steel, so they become a little more expensive. They're coming at around $325. If I lost, broke, or sold this knife, I probably would not buy it again. And if I could go back in time, I probably would not buy it at the beginning of my collection. I think one is enough, and I'll try to hold on to this thing forever. But it is so overbuilt that I really don't have the hard use scenarios that one would need to really make this knife shine. I would, however, buy the Manix 2 XL again in a heartbeat if I lost it. I know I just got done saying that I don't use it enough to warrant a clip, but I don't use a clip around the house. I throw it in my pocket. I don't really need to hang it off the side of my jeans. I throw it in my pocket. I do use it when I do lawn care. I use it for breaking down heavy boxes. That's what the knife started as when I worked in a grocery store. It was pretty much my pallet knife. This thing opened pallets and helped me distribute products onto the shelves. So it has a lot of use in it. I've sharpened it multiple times. It still holds a great edge. It is made in CPMS 30V. These come in right now. You know what? I'm not even going to give you the price. I'm going to put the link down in the description because the prices are transient and they can ebb and flow up and down. The second knife that I would say I would not purchase again at the beginning of one of my collections would be the Buck 110. This knife is a staple of every knife collection. However, I have never found a practical use for it, mainly because there's no pocket clip, it's heavy, and the back lock being at the back of it requires two hands to close it. I know somebody's probably found a way to close it with one hand, but that is not my nature, and that's not what I'm doing. I know I would cut myself with it. This knife is going to become just an heirloom to the family. I won't get rid of it. I won't sell it. But at the same time, I just don't use it as much as I should. It's gotten some use, as you can tell, from me just, you know, being around the house, carrying it every now and then, but I really haven't had any use for this. It was a truck knife for a while. It sat there. What would I buy in its place? Well, this is a lockback. The UKPK, the UK pen knife by Spyderco, is what I would actually buy in its place. It will do all the tasks of what I would do of slicing and dicing. I'm not a hunter, I'm not a skinner, and I'm not a trapper. Therefore, I don't need something to break down animals. I need something to break down boxes that my animals come in. So, therefore, I would pick the UKPK. It is a slip joint made to be UK legal by Spyderco, made in Golden, Colorado. So it is USA made. It comes with CPM SPY 27 steel, which is proprietary to Spyderco. Has an amazing heat treatment on it. Holds an edge longer than most of my other Spydercos, even in other steels. This knife is light. It is thin, way thinner than the Buck 110. Now you might be asking yourself, why are you comparing two opposite knives? Well, I'll tell you, because these two knives function the same when I'm using them at home. I'm using them to open up packages. I'm using them to break down those packages. I'm using it to cut pizza for my kids. I'm using it to, you know, help cut my own dinner on my plate when my steak knife is not cutting it for me. These two knives functionally are the same in my cases, but I am not by any means saying that they are the same in your case. Next knife that I would probably not buy again, had I done it twice. I got this knife gifted to me. It is a Buck 112 Light or Sport or whatever they call it. This knife is USA made. However, functionally this thing is a cheap ball of nothing. It is plastic scales with no liner. It is pinned scales, so you cannot do maintenance on this knife and open it up. It does have metal backliners and a nice backlock. This knife is not bad by any means, but with so many other knives available at the price point these come in at, around $30, give or take, this knife really falls short. The steel falls short. The pocket clip isn't terrible, I'll give it that, but I don't want a knife that I can't break down and clean out. I am pretty rough on my knives. I am not tough on my knives. I get them dirty because I use every one of my knives. Even the most expensive ones you see, I use for everyday tasks. I don't buy a knife if I'm not willing to slice a box with it. This knife here provides little joy in that sense. You have to use two hands to lock it. You can one hand open it. It is quite the chore to get open with your thumb stud. And you cannot swing close it with one hand. Maybe you can. I'm not going to. So that knife I would not purchase again. And honestly, if I lost it, broke it, got it stolen, I would not bring it back into my collection. It just really doesn't fit the bill for what I need. My collection is based on ones that I can use and not worry about and have low maintenance. In its place, what I would buy is this, the SOG Altair XR. XR meaning crossbar. This comes in 154 cryo steel. Cryo, I'm guessing, is the way they heat treat it. This one is made in China by SOG. It is on their higher end side of pricing, as that would be. This does come in at over $100. However, it is very thin and very light. Even going up against the 112, you can see it's quite a bit thinner. I don't have my calipers here to give you the thinness, but I'll tell you that there is no competitor, including the bug out, that feels the same as this. Is this better than a bug out? Absolutely not. I'm not the one to say what's better than another brand's knife. I don't own a bug out. I own a bailout. I like this as much as the bailout, but they are very different knives altogether, so let's not go down that realm too deep. It has a crossbar lock, which is very smooth. The crossbars are shrouded in a plastic button. It's almost like the Microtech switches. It deploys smoothly. You can thumb flick it. You can reverse flick it. You can just use the tabs to open and close it. This knife from SOG is great. You can change out the back spacer along with the clip so that you can have the opportunity to put a lanyard on it. I don't use lanyards, so I did not put that piece on there. So that is what I would replace this buck with. I already own both, so when this buck goes to a good home, somebody that needs it, wants it, or has a collection of them, this will stay. The next knife that I would not purchase given the chance to do so twice. The Byrd Cara 2 in stainless steel. It's an absolute great knife. The heat treatment on the 8CR13 MOV is up to Spyderco's standards. I have no trouble with edge retention. I have no trouble with manipulating this knife. I have no trouble other than the fact that it is a solid steel handle that is pinned and you cannot do any maintenance on it. The only thing you can do is you can swap the clip between 4 different positions. I don't do that. Once I get the clip where I need it to be, it stays there. This is a great knife. It can one hand open. It can one hand close. I choose not to. It's a big knife. It's just something that I wouldn't bring to my collection again early on because for some reason I was an idiot and I loved to pick up these overbuilt knives thinking that, oh, bigger the better, you know, if it's a lifelong knife, if I can sharpen it 100 times and not see any blade loss. No, that's not true at all. It's too much knife, and having too much knife becomes unsafe knife. The next one that I would introduce into my collection, we're going to go kind of reverse here because I want to show you what I would introduce and then what I would not introduce had I had it first. What I would introduce, the Remette Rhino liner lock. This is a $30 knife. $30. This is G10 handles. It's got weight reduced liners. The liner lock is smooth. It's locked in at about 35% right from the factory. It will drop shut on you. It is on bearings, from what I can tell. Remette, you're killing it. The Rhino, amazing. The pocket clip, it's nice. It's loose enough to get it over your pants, but it's not loose enough to fall off. It is ambidextrous for the clip. It is a flipper style, so there's really not as much fidget factor here just because of the liner lock. You're kind of doing that most of the time. I would take this knife anywhere that I would go. I don't use knives in self-defense, but I would surely use this knife for anything I needed while I'm out and about. Why did I show you that one first? Because this is going to be what a lot of people say, oh, I don't agree, you know, I love my, you know, the blah. And you're going to give me a bunch of comments about how I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm just different. Okay? What would I not buy again? I would not buy the Manix 2 lightweight when we are comparing these two knives back to back because I already have the Manix 2 XL. And given both of these together, I would hold on to the Manix 2 XL and I would probably not buy this again. Only because it's the lightweight version. It doesn't deploy as easily as the Manix 2 with the G10 because it's riding on only one washer. The body is not integral, but it is lightweight. It is plastic. There is no steel liner that runs the length of the knife. It does have the same material as a backspacer and a little bit of a steel liner up here. The blade is great, CTS BD1N. I really enjoy this knife, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's a bad knife. I'm saying that given the option between these two, knowing what I know now, this one will get more work done because this one is the lightweight version. I say that I would not buy the lightweight version again because I already have the Manix 2 XL. This knife covers all the ground that a Manix 2 covers and does it with only a little bit of size difference. I enjoy it. I'd say the Manix 2 XL is my favorite hard-working big knife. Let's move on a little bit further into one that I would buy. Let's call it a bonus round. I would absolutely purchase an Eafengrow EF335. I have it in almost every color variant except jade and orange. I take them and I move the scales around. This knife comes in at the end because there's going to be people poo-pooing and saying, oh, that's a Strider clone. Well, first of all, it's not really a Strider clone. They don't claim to be cloning a Strider. There's no name on it that says Strider. It's a great knife. It resembles a Strider. It is definitely resembling the ProTech collab that happened. But guys, it's a great big D2 slab with huge micarta and G10 scales. It does everything that my Manix can do and my Adamas can do, but it does it at $30. $30, guys. We're talking $300 plus, almost $300, $30 with D2. I don't know the heat treatment on this, and I know that Eafengrow has a history of maybe not giving us the steel that they told us they did. But I think that's been corrected for the most part later on. That was a few years back now, and I would hope that they righted their wrongs. I'm not sending this out to get it tested. I'm not sending out to get it hardness tested. I'm sending it out. I send this thing for everything I want to use it for. When somebody has a knife task and they're scared to, ding up their Benchmade bug out, their ultra skinny titanium scales, I bust out this bad boy. I throw it across the room to them. When they're done getting up off the ground after it's so heavily hit them in the face, they pick it up and I say, you, get at it. And this knife will survive it. You can tell already by the blade how much I've used it. I let this sucker fly, man. I've batoned it. I've thrown it. I have dropped it. I have scooted it around. I've beaten down boxes and I've taken down pieces of wood that probably shouldn't be taken down off of tree branches. I do not really baton the back of it. I just said that for fun. Just the entertainment, guys. But I don't baton any of my knives. But I will sometimes put this on something and do this with my hand, and I am not scared to do that with this knife whatsoever. It's a big chunky boy. It's heavy. It's like 7.5 ounces. You're not going to be toting this around in your gym shorts. It has proprietary hardware. Ugh. I can't stand proprietary hardware. Thank God it comes with the tools that you can use to open it up and use it. I did Loctite the pivot. The tools work well. It is a single-sided pivot, so it's a nut in a cup kind of deal. I don't know if I can take off the thumb studs, but I'm not going to. They look like they should be able to come off with that tool, but don't quote me. The flipper is nice and good action. I've never had any problems deploying it. It's a good flipper. So guys, what do you think? That was the bonus knife. That's the $30 cream of the crop. You can get all of these knives at the links that I put below. I'm not telling you not to buy them. I'm just showing you what I would do if I could do my collection over.